Well, good morning everyone, and thank you for dropping in to YouTube's, well, my little station called Keto is Not Forever. Well, I shared last video how to make my wannabe chocolate chip cookies. Yepers, everybody needs a really good, healthy chocolate chip cookie, and I shared that last time. But today, I'm going to share with you a plethora of ingredients that I've used, that I've enjoyed, and I keep looking for, is there something better out there? Anyway, let's get started. So at this end, I have my flours and my sugars. Everybody wants a sweetness in there, we're trying to camouflage that to a certain degree. You got to agree to that. So I have my erythritol that has monk fruit in it. It's a nice little mixture. It has that sweet tooth satisfaction factor to it. Straight erythritol, I did that for about 4 years, and I said there's got to be something a little bit more tastier out there, and that's when I found this one here with they blend it. I was trying to make the attempt to blend it myself. Let them do it. They do a better job at it. All right, so then the next item I have my favorite almond flour. It's coming from the Kirkland, the big box store I think you're all familiar with, as well as this sliced almonds. As you can tell, I'm at the bitter end here, but anyhow, I get these 3 items at the local Costco. Okay, then we have my other, actually this is the primo favorite ingredient that I use in my wannabe chocolate chip cookies, is this coconut. And they come in 2 different forms. This is more of a chip, this one here, and this is just shredded. But if you look closely, they both say unsweetened. Very important, because we're trying to tell the pancreas, settle down, we're going to get a little sweetness, we're going to get a little chew, but we want you to heal. So I like those 2 items because they're without sugar. And then we have a little coconut flour from Mr. Bob's Red Mill. Then we get into our table salt. You can use the salt, the Himalayas, your table salt, whatever you like. But my other 2 favorites are actually this vanilla extra. It's bourbon. Don't ask me how they do it, but it tastes good. It adds a little different flavor to your vanilla. I like this one a lot. There's cinnamon at Trader Joe's. So these items I get at Trader Joe's. Then either you can do a cinnamon, or I have the anise star. It is whole and it smells amazing. I'm gonna put it in my hand so you get a better idea. It is whole, and I just put it in a little grinder, the coffee grinder, clean it real good, and then put this in, and it just does an aromatic therapy throughout your whole house. This one little star is permeating in this 1,600 square foot home, and it smells great. And then when you bake it, it's even sweeter smelling. Anyway, so then that's how I season, flavor, spice up my cookies. I do the cinnamon, I do the star anise, or perhaps if I'm into the pumpkin season, I can put in the pumpkin spice. So it all depends on how you like it. So then in this, the chocolate chip version, well, the chocolate chips are either the Lily. Lily's are, they're not a cheap date, mind you, but they're with stevia. So I have those, and I also mix in Kroger's mini chocolate chip. Now you know that these are going to have some sugar in them, but you're only using 1/4 cup of each to to defray price, cost, and sometimes, you're on a tight budget one week, some week you're not. But anyway, I like them because it gives you the variety, and I don't know, they're just cute looking going in. And then I feel like I have more chocolate chips in one cookie than if I do those, because these are a little bit bigger. Anyway, so that's it. That's what you have. If you find something that's tastier or more cost effective, do share. Let me know. But in the meantime, enjoy making the wannabe chocolate chip cookies. Hello, and thanks for visiting my YouTube. Keto is Not Forever. Today we're going to make this cookie. Guess what? Everybody needs a good, healthy cookie. I call it the wannabe, either chocolate chip cookie you want to call it, or you can call it the wannabe oatmeal cookie. I don't think oatmeals have chocolate chip, so that's why I lean towards the chocolate chip. Anyway, here we go. We're not using any flours, except for one, but I'll show it to you in a second. So we're going to take some sliced almonds. We're going to take the almonds are 3/4 of a cup. The coconut, it's dried, no sugar. Okay, no sugar whatsoever. We'll line that in here as well. What we're going to do is we're going to spin this a little bit, chop it up a little bit so it looks like coarse oatmeal, or you know, if you want it finer, that's fine too. So we put that lid on. Okay, so that's the start because I put other items in and then it brings it down a little bit, makes it a little bit more finer. Not fine like a flour, but fine to at least give you that chewing action that we all are seeking. Alright, so now we put in some of our spices, put our salt, half a teaspoon of salt. This is the only flour I got. It's coconut flour. It's not much. It's a tablespoon to dry up any kind of liquids that are being a little ornery. Okay, here's some, I think this, I put this baking powder in here, it's prosperity's sake, because I'm so used to doing with wheat, right? And I put in some spices. Now, I'm doing anise and cinnamon. It's aromatherapy as well, so it's not only about eating, it's like involving your entire senses so you don't feel deprived, right? So, I like to get every drop of my baking powder. Okay, so we spin that again. So that's going to sit for a little bit. Then we go over to this little device. We're going to put in our half a cup of butter. Now I don't use sugar because this is keto, right? I've investigated a lot of the sugars, the non-sweeteners, and I remember coming across this one woman that said to me, hey listen, if you're on this keto thing, guess what? Try them all. I started off with erythritol and I was faithful for about 6 months. Possibly a year, because they didn't have these mixtures now that they have. So, and then I had to try which erythritol I enjoyed. The whole idea is not to aggravate and overuse your pancreas. So the doctor I was working with was telling me, just we want to let that pancreas rest and heal. Basically, that's what I'm saying. And so I'm putting this in, and this is a blend that now is out, and it's erythritol and monk fruit. You find which flavor you like best. Maybe just like straight erythritol. So we're going to cream the butter and the sweetener representing sugar. Nice and creamy. Not quite like, you know, the old way, but that's okay. It's a good start. So we got 1 egg. Get that going. So blend this up a little bit. To a certain degree. Then put in our vanilla. About a teaspoon. You know what's best. Sometimes I got so involved with different things on the internet that I'm in the Southwest. Sometimes it doesn't respond because of our altitude or our dryness. So put in what you think is best. If you need more, well then, you know, make your notes about, oh gee, I want a tablespoon or a teaspoon and a half instead of just a teaspoon. So just so you know for memory's sake. From here, looking good. So now we're going to put in our wannabe flour. It looks like a coarse oatmeal, but it's a cross between that and the flour look. But in the meantime, let's just get this mixed up for you. Now, if you want to do this by hand, that's great. Shake it all out. All right. All right. Blend it up. Now, when it comes to the chip part, I've got the ones with the little stevia in it, and then I've got some that are the old-fashioned way. So I cut the amount in half though, half and half for the stevia ones, these are the ones. And then here I like the mini ones, they're kind of cute. So I'm going to try to get some of this batter off. This is a manipulation that you got to be careful with. So I like taking this off and putting this device on. So there you have it. I'll spoon it out and I'll get back to you. But this is a start. I always like the chocolate chip cookie because they're nutritious. They give me the crunch and the chewing action. They're tasty. And I feel like I'm doing something really good for my health because I'm giving my pancreas some time to rest and heal. Okay, so we're gonna lay out our cookies. I wanted to mention that when I was putting the sliced almonds and the coconut, I was putting in a cup of almond flour, just to let you know. And that's about as floury as well as the coconut flour, were the only flours I used, right? So no wheat whatsoever. Okay, so now we've got our parchment paper and we've got our nice little tray here. And I like this scooper, this ice cream scooper. It's just the right size. You get the size you want. I like small cookies because then I feel like I have quantity and I can just reach and grab them if I'm on the fly, which a lot of us are today. They're easy to handle. So here we go. Here's our batter. This is what it looks like. Okay. So, and then I also have this little device. Someone had given me these gorgeous little, you call it aperitif glass, or maybe it's a shot glass. But it's got this great base because I use that to form the cookies. I'll show you in a second. So here we go. So you can lay out 4. They're not going to grow very much, so you can kind of pack them in. But if you do, then they kind of look more square than round. So you do what's best for you and your limitations of trays and your ovens and the size of your oven. All that stuff does come into consideration. So, or if you want to just leave them like that, like haystacks, you can do that as well. Whatever you need to do that is good for you, and with all the time constraints we have and all the busyness and all right, so I've got a couple here to show you. All right, so I'll take this little shot glass that I like the base on, and I just kind of a little bit of water just so the dough releases easily, and just push it down a little bit, that's all. And I spin it. Now you might want to use a spoon, you might want to just use your hand, whatever you feel like doing, or maybe you want to just keep them this shape. Just know that A, do you want a chewy cookie, or B, do you want a more dry cookie? So you kind of have to budget your time. Typically it's 325 to 350 temperature. I've gone to 350, but for some reason the oven gets a little too hot, right? So I backed it down to 325. I lean towards about 18 minutes. If you want more of a chew, then I would, do less. Maybe 15 would be enough for where, you are living and your altitude and all those kind of things. Or maybe you're just eager to try one, right? So, because it's a good cookie. And there's times that throughout the day I'm so busy that, I don't even eat well, meaning I don't make it through the night because my belly is saying, hey, feed me, feed me. So I'll get up and I'll grab a cookie because I know it won't mess with my sugars, and I'll put peanut butter on it. So there's a lot of things you can do with this. I missed one. I missed a haystack. It slipped through my fingers here. So that's how that is. I will complete this and I'll get back to you when they're cooked. Okay, so I got started putting some of the cookie dough out on this tray. I'm using my cookie press is basically an ice cream scoop. I think you're right familiar with that. And then what I do is I take the bottom of this little liqueur glass and I just press on them just to get a uniform shape. And maybe you would prefer to use your hand, maybe you'd prefer to use the back of a spoon, or maybe you just want to leave them as haystacks, whatever's good for you. You would bake between anywhere from 350 to 325 is the window of temperature based on your oven, and anywhere from 12 to 14 minutes. Of course, if you want it chewy, you do around 12. If you want more of a crunch, then you do around 18. So you figure out which one is better for you and your taste buds. I'm going to try 2 rows of the haystacks. Never really did that, so I'm going to give it a go. Yeah, some folks would probably would want a bigger cookie, possibly even decorate it, put peanut butter on it. I even would find a keto ice cream and put little pieces of the cookie in it. There's many ways to enjoy yourself in the keto. That's why you can't get yourself bored or bummed out about it. You just gotta be a little creative. And just know when I would make these cookies and share them, everybody wanted the recipe. You know what? You guys are the first ones to get it. So enjoy. I'll be back with them cooked or baked. Bye for now. Here we are, folks. Our first batch of wannabe chocolate chip cookies, fresh out of the oven. A fresh batch. They smell amazing. The house smells so fabulously. And they've cooled just a little bit. So, here we go. Very, very good. Very nutritious. Gives me that chewing action. A little sweetness, not much, which is what we want because we have such sweet tooths. Enjoy your first batch of wannabe chocolate chip cookies. Thanks for watching, and remember, keto is not forever. Thank you so much. Bye now.